This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. There's a heated debate brewing in a historic district of Bradenton, and it's all over a fence. A fence installed by a homeowner near his property has some saying that he didn't have the right to do so because they believe it's property that belongs to the public. ABC7's Rick Adams has more from the Point Pleasant neighborhood in Bradenton.
Well, this is the fence that's stirring up quite a bit of controversy here in this neighborhood. There are some who believe that this fence is cutting off public access to this area on the water. An area at the end of Point Pleasant Avenue West on the Manatee River, which folks once had access to, now has this fence in front of it and big rocks on it. This doesn't sit too well with a longtime resident of the neighborhood, Jane Plitt, and others, who says there was even a no trespassing sign posted on the fence.
All of us are outraged. This is not neighborly. It is not in keeping with the whole sense of Point Pleasant, which is to welcome all different kinds of people.
Ryan Snyder is the homeowner who had the fence put up next to his property. He tells us ever since he, his wife, and his children moved into the neighborhood last year, there have been many issues.
We have filed countless police reports with the City of Bradenton Police Department over drug use, sexual activity, loitering, people bathing in the river. The end of the street has been a problem since we've moved in.
Snyder says he has collected more than 100 syringes from in and around the property. He tells us he obtained ownership of the property from the heirs of the original developer of the neighborhood, the Curry family. Snyder says in exchange for the property, he agreed to install a monument commemorating the original developer. His plan is to give the entire neighborhood access to the property.
It was my intent to install a park bench and also pass out keys to all the residents of the Point Pleasant neighborhood, so all of the residents of the community could enjoy the property.
Bradenton Vice Mayor Patrick Roth was made aware of the situation from concerned residents last week. City Council is trying to decide if Snyder does have a right to own the property.
When Mr. Curry subdivided this lot, he could have easily turned this into a piece of property and sold another home. But he left this street open so that the people who live on the interior of his subdivision will always have a place to come in and view the river and the sunset.
And next up with all this, City Council just approved to have the situation looked into a little further. As for Ryan Snyder and his family, they're hopeful they can come up with a solution that works for everybody. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you so much, Rick. A life-saving smartphone app is asking businesses in Manatee County with AEDs to help with their emergency efforts. Pulse Point is an app that notifies users who are CPR certified if they're within a quarter mile of a life-threatening emergency. It also lets them know the location of the closest AED. If you have a business in Manatee County with an AED, the county wants you to let the community know where you are by registering it on the Pulse Point smartphone app. Sarasota County hosted a community workshop today geared toward dog owners and area residents. The county wants to gather feedback on the draft concept plan for an enclosed off-leash dog park. That new park would be located in the 19-acre Bay Street Park off of Bay Street near US 41 in Osprey. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at your first alert forecast. Bob, it was just very pleasant out there today.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about how nice it was. 62 degrees right now. It's a little cool, but we will see low temperatures into the mid to upper 50s. A little bit cooler than this morning. Right now, the dew point has dropped down to 55 degrees, and that's what's making it feel a little bit chillier outside as a result of that lower dew point temperature. Northeast winds are at 6. The pressure continues to rise, and that means another gorgeous day tomorrow. If you like today, you're going to love tomorrow's weather, too. 73 degrees, the Gulf water temperature. That's the warm reading. Temperatures along the coast in the low 60s. We had a little bit of fog around this morning, some low clouds. If it's around tomorrow morning, it shouldn't be sticking around all that long. And as I mentioned, a little bit of a cool start. The winds out of the northeast now anywhere from 5 to 10. Not all that strong. Northeast at 6 miles an hour now at Sarasota, the same at Lakewood Ranch, and down south into Northport, it's 6 as well. 8-mile-an-hour wind in Inglewood and Minnesota Beach at 8 miles an hour out of the northeast. We are anticipating low temperatures to start the morning off into the mid to upper 50s for the most part. We'll see temperatures in Mayaca City, Wauchula, Arcadia into the mid 50s there, right around 55 degrees. Osprey, you'll be 59. It'll feel a little cooler, though, with that lower dew point temperature and also a little bit of a breeze. Anna Maria at 60 degrees, protected by the water. a little bit warmer out on the islands, and that's the way it's going to be. We're going to talk about a cold front headed our way. On top of that, gorgeous weather anticipated for us on Friday as a result of a large area of high pressure, which continues to build in now, and this high pressure ridge isn't going anywhere, at least for the next couple of days. We'll have more on our weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, thank you, Bob. The White House is sending Congress a $45 billion disaster aid request on Friday that will fall short of demands from Florida, Texas, and Puerto Rico. This is President Trump's third request since hurricanes slammed the Gulf Coast and Caribbean and would bring the total appropriated for hurricane relief close to $100 billion. But Friday's measure won't contain much money for Puerto Rico. The governor there has requested $94 billion, and Florida and Texas will also be quite disappointed. Florida has asked for $27 billion and Texas submitted a $61 billion request as well. And Florida is now conducting a hurricane after-action report to determine the impact on agriculture, how much money the state spent, and the debris removal process. Several committee members say damage estimates are too low. They say those estimates project losses of more than $2.5 billion. Well, sex secrets are exploding in the Florida State Legislature with allegations of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and infidelity. But former lawmakers say this kind of behavior has been going on for years. Right now in Tallahassee, State Senator Jack Latvala, who's running for governor, is fending off allegations that he groped and harassed at least 6 women. Meanwhile, Democratic Senate leader Jeff Clemens just resigned after acknowledging an extramarital affair with a lobbyist. 10 years ago, when former state representative Keith Fitzgerald was in office, he was hearing similar rumors or allegations of sexual misconduct.
I would just warn anyone from the outside who thinks that maybe their party or their side is free of this and the other side or the perpetrators. It doesn't work like that. There are bad actors and there are good actors on both sides of the aisle.
The president of the Florida Senate has hired an outside law firm to investigate those accusations against Latvala. And a bill that would bar state investments in companies doing businesses with the government of Venezuela was approved by a House panel today. The House Oversight, Transparency and Administration Subcommittee backed that proposal, sponsored by Representative Jeanette Nunez of Miami. She says lawmakers need to stand with the people of Venezuela amid abuses by the regime of President Nicolas Maduro.
That's critically important, given the community that I hail from and the plight of the Venezuelan people that we all too well understand. And so for me, it's critically important to make sure that we codify that particular language.
The bill needs approval from 2 more committees before it can go to the House floor during the 2018 legislative session. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus another senator accused of sexual misconduct. What his accuser had to say when we come back.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-855-395-9803. That's 1-855-395-9803 now.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetzy.
It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
If you're looking for a rewarding job you'll love, good news. The perfect job is just a click away. Go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day. It's that easy. Stop searching and go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day to find the perfect job for you. Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Well, that colder weather certainly feels good. I mean, not colder by any sense to other parts of the country, but it feels great here on the Sun Coast.
It is nice, especially I was outdoors working. You know, during the summer months, you kind of put everything off until it gets to this kind of temperature. Now I realize I got a lot of work to do, you know, out there, but in fact, rebuild the fence that was torn down by Irma. That's one of the things. Anyway, we're looking at some nice temperatures for lows tonight. We'll see low temperatures basically dropping down into the upper 50s, but this is for Saturday. I want to show you Saturday's temperatures. They're not going away as far as the cool weather goes. We are going to continue to see some of this cooler weather around right on in through the weekend, although a cold front is going to move through and chill us out a little bit more on Monday. Well, great photos sent in again. Here's one that you see right there, and that is a beautiful shot sent in from Suzanne Krebs. We appreciate that shot. Little flag in the background. They're blowing too. We had a little bit of a breeze today, and look at this wonderful shot of the nice tree and the sun already setting right there, creating that nice color that you see right there. Not a lot of clouds in the sky. A lot of times when you get clouds, you get a lot more action as far as the colors go, but the Van Wezel webcam also showing fair conditions out there, out over the waters, and looks like, again, similar conditions expected tomorrow. Already clear skies down to 62 degrees. And it looks as though we'll get a little bit cooler than last night, so temperatures will be into the mid to upper 50s tomorrow to start things off. Northeast winds now at 6, and the pressure 30.07 inches, and that is on the rise. And the high temperature today, a little bit below average, 76, 79 is our average, 60 was the morning low. That was pretty close to it. 34, the record set back in 1969. And the rainfall has been pretty quiet so far for the month of November. In fact, really quiet. We are anticipating, though, some showers to start next week. Now, there's some conflict in between a couple of models, the GFS and the European. GFS has a little wetter solution, so we'll see how that plays out, especially for Thanksgiving. But the forecast, upper 70s tomorrow, lots of sunshine, hardly any clouds around at all. Get out there, enjoy it if you can, and it looks like Saturday should be similar. I mentioned those temperatures for tomorrow's lows into the mid to upper 50s, 40s in places like Gainesville, and then tomorrow's highs will be in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. And then again on Saturday morning, we saw this earlier, upper 50s to low 60s, but we will quickly warm up again into the upper 70s by the afternoon. Well, the futurecast showing sunshine for our area. A few clouds along the east coast, not much going on there. Here comes the frontal boundary. You'll see it start to moving on down there, and then some showers through Atlanta. Very thin line of showers on Saturday evening at 11 o'clock. It won't get to us until later in the day on Sunday. It will bring an increase in clouds on Sunday late in the day. Still high temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s on Sunday, cooler on Monday as we move through time. Well, not much rain left with that little easterly flow along the east coast. It's pretty much over as that front has moved well to the south now. And that storm over the northeast, which brought kind of a nasty day into New York, Pennsylvania, as well as into much of the northern New England states, is now shifting off into the Atlantic. Quiet weather throughout the southeast because of that big area of high pressure. Still some snow falling, as I said, in some areas near Burlington, Vermont. And then those temperatures cooler all the way down to Memphis now. 49 degrees, 71 in Dallas, though. 44 in Kansas City, and some key cities, Toronto 32, Pittsburgh 38, 40 in Columbus, 38 in Detroit now, 33 in Indianapolis, Denver at 58 degrees, and Wichita at 59, and 71, still pretty warm now in Dallas. Well, here's the forecast As we see it for boaters tomorrow, it'll start off a little bit breezy. We'll have winds out of the northeast at 15 knots, subsiding to 5 to 10, and coming out of the north later on in the day. Seas at 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop. And we are looking at, again, the water temperature at 73 degrees. And it looks as though we'll see the temperatures cool off in that water, especially on in through Monday and Tuesday of next week. Tides on your screen. Sunset will be at 5:38. Sunrise will be at 6:53. Mostly fair, cool tonight, low of 57. And tomorrow, lots of sunshine and mild. Another nice day. Everyone will be enjoying it, I'm sure. 78. And the extended forecast is calling for, there you got it, beautiful. Saturday, Sunday, not too bad. Even though the front's coming down, maybe a little windier. We could see some fog in the morning. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're going to keep it at a 40 to 50% chance right now. Still a lot in the air, up in the air as far as that forecast goes, but could see some rainfall, some needed rain. We need it around town. Well, we had some small craft advisories, very windy weather. Johnny, we couldn't make it out in the waters, but we still got some fishing in. Here's more. Small craft advisory? No worries for beach fishing adventurers and the clients from North Carolina. The family that plays together stays together, as they have been hooking up with Coach Steve for 7 years in a row now.
Has caught sharks and flounder and fed the family several times. She generally just catches rather than just fishing.
And the now 13-year-old Caroline kept pulling them in one after another and enjoying the day, as this young lady lands this big lady. While Coach fetches some greenbacks, Grandpa gets into the action, bringing in the fish he was going after, Spanish mackerel. While Jason and Caroline were showing off their catch, a snapper and drum, it was Rick stealing the show with something much bigger tugging on his line.
Watch it now, watch it. He's zipping out, he's zipping out.
Using a blue runner looking for a snook, it was a black-tipped shark that was taking the bait and taking Rick for a ride.
I jumped in, shark, huh? Nice work.
After a little battle and a few photos, it was back into action and back to the fun. And it didn't take long before this happened. Black-tipped sharks were busy feeding on this day. Typically, these sharks only get to be about 5 feet in length and are known to make leaps out of the water at the bait like this one did. They are legal to harvest and have no required length to keep. You can only keep 2 per group. Once again, success on the groin on Longboat Key for this vacationing family from North Carolina.
Take a kid fishing, because someday they may take you.
That was Jason right there from North Carolina. You mentioned North Carolina. I asked him, are you a Duke fan or a Tar Heel? And he said he was a Tar Heel fan.
Oh,
because,
there we go.
Duke, they weren't too kind to him. Anyway, he's a doctor, orthopedic surgeon, and having a great time out there. I think his father, 3 generations were out there fishing on the pier, and he is an allergy doctor. So he was an allergy. I was asking him about my problems lately.
Right.
He didn't have any solutions at this point.
Right. Were they visiting or just
yeah, they come down here every year for a week. They're leaving, I think, Sunday. They've had a great time. They booked Steve again Friday. They had such a good time. After I left, they're always catching fish, too. I said, you watch, when I leave, you're going to send photos of all the other fish you caught, too. And they sure did. They caught a lot of other fish there, so they had a good time.
Well, good. I'm glad they were able to get out and have another
day
sometimes,
as well. You know, if you got an east wind right along the coast, the waves aren't too bad, and the buildings block everything, so it's not too terrible.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Bob. Just a reminder, you can get all of the latest local and national news on our smartphone app, but if you are an Apple user and have the old version of our app, it will go away at the end of the month. If you don't download the new app by November 30th, you'll miss out on all the local news, video, and notifications that will keep you connected to our community. You can find the new app by searching for My Suncoast in the App Store. Well, today, another bombshell allegation of sexual misconduct, this time involving a sitting senator, Minnesota's Al Franken, a Los Angeles radio host telling her story and sharing a photograph from a 2006 USO tour. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has more.
This photo of Leanne Tweeden asleep on a flight home from a USO tour. It was a photo of Al doing his, this on my breast, like just a part of her accusations against former comedian and now Minnesota Senator Al Franken.
I was violated. I just felt like, he betrayed my trust.
Tweeden, a Los Angeles radio anchor.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Leanne Tweeden.
Says she and Franken were in Kuwait in 2006 preparing to perform a skit together for the troops. She says they were alone backstage when he asked to practice a kissing scene he wrote.
Just put his hand on the back of my head and he mashed his face against, it happened so fast, and he stuck his tongue down my mouth, and I remember I pushed him off with my hands.
Franken responding in a statement, the first and most important thing is, I'm sorry. While I don't remember the rehearsal for the skit as Leanne does, I understand why we need to listen to and believe women's experiences. Of that picture, the senator says there's no excuse. I look at it now and I feel disgusted with myself. It isn't funny, it's completely inappropriate. It's obvious how Leanne would feel violated.
The apology, sure, I accept it, yes.
And now reaction on Capitol Hill.
This kind of conduct should not be tolerated by anyone and any public official.
As Senate leaders call on the Ethics Committee to investigate. And Franken says he, too, is asking for an ethics investigation, adding he will gladly cooperate. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
Here's what we have up our sleeveless shirt tonight.
Not smoke around my mom. If you're a smoker, just yell outside.
Oh, yeah, no, my Aunt Chippy...
My mom's a singer, so there's no smoking around my mom.
That makes sense. My Aunt Chippy's more of a screamer, so it is...
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life, you miss precious moments. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. Our simple 3-step process begins with a free evaluation, followed by an extensive preoperative exam to determine if you're a candidate for LASIK eye surgery. Depending on the results of your evaluation and eye exam, you and your surgeon will choose the LASIK option that works best for you. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation. That's a $100 value, free. Call the LASIK Vision Institute for your free evaluation and enjoy more of your life.
Call 1-800-813-0109. 1-800-813-0109.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now, sports.
The 23rd ranked South Florida Bulls playing a Thursday night game at home. The Bulls hosting Tulsa at Raymond James Stadium. The Bulls beat the Golden Hurricanes tonight 27-20. And the Tampa Bay Lightning back home after a very successful West Coast road trip. The Bolts hosting Dallas tonight. In the second period, the score tied 0-0. The Lightning working the puck around. Steven Stamkos gets it and rips the slap shot over the shoulder of the goalie to take the lead 1-0 Lightning. The Stars then get a turnover, and Radiq Faxel leads the breakaway by himself. He's able to put the wrister in the back of the net, and the score is tied 1-1. In the Houston Astros, Jose Altuve has won the American League MVP award. Altuve drew 27 of the 30 first-place votes, Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Indians finishing third. The second baseman hit 24 home runs, scored 112 times, stole 32 bases, and showed a sharp glove at second base. Altuve helped lead the Astros to their first World Series championship. He's also the second Houston player to win an MVP. Jeff Bagwell earned the 1994 NL Award. In Miami, Marlins slugger Giancarlo Stanton has won the National League MVP award, barely edging Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds. In the closest MVP vote since 1979, Stanton became only the sixth player to win from a losing team. The right fielder led the big leagues with 59 home runs, the most in the majors since 2001. Stanton got 10 first-place votes and 302 points. Runner-up Votto got 10 first and 300 points. Let's have a look at your sports tonight. We'll have our winning lotto numbers when we come back.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if your loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $279 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
We're still in hurricane season. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you. ABC7, your official Florida lottery station for the Sun Coast. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, congratulations are in order for our very own Scott Dennis. He was inducted into the Riverview High School Student Hall of Fame this evening. Scott graduated from Riverview in 1980. He was inducted into the Riverview Athletic Hall of Fame in 2013. Scott was also a part of the Kilty Band, where he played the trumpet. Tonight, the Kilties performed one last time before they're off to New York for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's an honor well-deserved for Scott after more than, I think, almost 3 decades in broadcasting.
It's been longer than that, actually.
Almost 4, right?
He's 34, I think, going on 34 years.
So big congratulations
over 3 decades.
to
Yeah,
him.
congratulations, Scott. And looks to be great weather to celebrate tomorrow for Scott. So if you see him around, say congratulations.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Have a good evening.